I'm Karen, and I've been back in the UK for 2 years with my husband Donovan, and we've got 2 children. So I grew up in a church. I would call it a Christian family, but actually my father was a believer. He was the believer, my mum was a non-believer. So I had these 2 worlds that were quite combined. I think I felt like I always had one foot in and out of the church that I went to. I continued to go, but slowly started to drift a little bit because it was just difficult to, keep up with what I'd call maybe quite a legalistic, I think that's the expression, approach. It didn't feel right, something was missing, but I was looking just for a church that I could really feel that I connected with. So time went on, I grew up a little bit, I'd known Donovan for quite some time, but we got married. And it was a couple of years in, we got the opportunity to go to the Middle East. And at the same time I found out I was pregnant, and it was just all go, go, go. Yeah, we're in Qatar and we found this church called Grace. And yeah, we were kind of quite interested. There wasn't many Christian churches there. We're in a Muslim country. So we looked up on the website about Grace. It talked a lot about faith and about kind of their kind of mission statement was all about helping people, encouraging people to follow their hearts, to learn more about Christ, to connect, to grow in faith and love. And I just felt, I think this is what's been missing. I think love's been missing. It kind of felt like our journey was about to begin. Sadly, a couple of days after, we had some bad news, and our baby was very poorly. Fluid quickly went to the baby's lungs, and within a matter of weeks we were told the baby wouldn't survive. So sadly we said goodbye to our firstborn son, Joshua. And it was a tough time. We hadn't been in Qatar for that long. We'd been there just a month, and everything changed. Our worlds fell apart. We were without our family and our friends. We felt very much on our own, but we weren't. And that was the point that I would say that Jesus definitely made a difference for us. The people at Grace, the pastors, the deacon, the deaconesses were absolutely amazing, and I think were a true demonstration of just what I spoke about earlier, the love that they had and the grace that they showed to us throughout that period, not knowing us at all. It was a period for me where I just fell into darkness, to be honest, and I didn't know how I would get myself out of that place. And how Christ made a difference is that he offered us hope. He offered us just that light, I think. And it took a long time. I'd even say now, 7 years on, we're not the same people, but we were blessed to have Amelia and Daniel. And I remember sat in Grace at church, and I was still quite new at the time, and it was like a women's meet-up, and there was a sign on the wall opposite, and it said something like, "Hope is believing that something good can come from something bad." And I remember we were doing this activity, we had to write on a rock, and I wrote that message down, I didn't want to forget it. And I put it next to my bed and kept that rock there, hoping that one day we would be able to have another child. And we did, a lot of prayers and a lot of encouragement, and we were blessed to have Amelia, our rainbow baby. I think after what had happened, I would say several years into being at Grace, we got more involved at Grace with the community. I started to support other women who'd gone through similar things. It took me a long time, but eventually I was able to support a group of women in the church there. And I think then when we sadly lost jobs and we had to return to the UK, it was fine. We chose to come back to Birmingham because that's where we were from. But I felt it was really important to try and find a church that were connected to the community. So I think Riverside as well has the same kind of beliefs that Grace had, and that faith and that devotion and connection and bringing people together through Christ's love is very evident, and it's just beautiful to see. I don't sit here today saying everything's perfect, like all that trauma has just gone away. It hasn't, but it's a daily battle, and I don't think I could live a day without Christ. I don't think I could have gone through anything like that. not knowing Jesus. Knowing Jesus is why I think at that time I was able to put one foot in front of the other, knowing that, you know, he died for us, that he died for me. And that sacrifice, I just think, you know, I give my all to Christ. And I know that's really hard for people who maybe don't believe right now, but just to keep talking to someone about it, keep praying, keep having that person you can be accountable to share and talk. Yeah.